Yu-Gi-Oh guy. He doesn't even play Pokemon and he's still styling on you.
I play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I spit harder bars than all of y'all. My shit bring you to hell. Triple Charizard. Watch.
What is up, YouTube? It's your host with the most, RonnRetrobro, back, and today we are going to play Batman Arkham City. Now, I've never played any of the newer Batman games such as Arkham City or Arkham Asylum, and I've heard that aside from having really good, well, I've heard that the game had really good graphics and it's good. Not gonna lie to you, that's all I've really heard from any of my friends. The Batman game is really good, the graphics are amazing, and nothing else. Those were like the only two things I heard. So I've always been under the assumption that, hey, pretty much people are just telling me the graphics are amazing, and then I have a lot of friends that aren't really big time gamers, so I kind of took their opinions and stereotyped the fact that they weren't like big time gamers and assumed that I wouldn't like the game. So I was like, you know what, let me stop stereotyping them. Especially, even though they didn't explain the detail of the game too well, and give it a chance myself, so I would give my own opinion of the game. So far, I actually like it. Like, the graphics actually look really well, obviously, and what I noticed in a lot of these games where you have really good graphics like this is that you move really slow, and that's a pet peeve to me, especially in combat games. It's supposed to be action reactive, but in this game you move amazingly fast, and it looks good. So I like that, because not only are the graphics good, but the gameplay feels fast, it feels reactive, and it feels exciting. And to me, graphics don't beat gameplay, because I'm an old school gamer. So if you have good graphics and you have good gameplay that's quick, then I can enjoy it too. One of the other features that I like about this is that everything is motion censored. So when you open a safe like Catwoman just did now, or you take a hit, or you hit somebody else, if you have a good controller, like say an Xbox 360 controller, you actually feel your controller shake. By the way, I forgot to mention that I'm actually playing this on my PC, my laptop, and not on a console. But the graphics look amazing, and I can play and react just as fast as the console. And the graphics actually probably look a lot better than it would on the console anyhow. So I wanted to share my experience of playing this game for the first time with you guys. Just to recap what just happened a minute ago.
He also told me that something called Protocol 10.
Two-Face pulled out a gun on her, and it looks like not only did she get kidnapped, but what you guys couldn't hear in the background is that she heard a shotgun sound, like a big guy shot. So I can only assume that means that Batman got to him and hit him. So eventually, we should get to the point to where they kind of showed that to us and just left us cliffhanging to give us closure on what happened in that situation. But for now, we are in Gotham City, and it's showing us Bruce Wayne and him talking politics on some of the issues in Gotham and how he plans to handle it. Now, one of the things I really like about what I see so far about Gotham is Gotham looks the way it's supposed to. It looks the way it does in Batman the Animated Series, which I think was the best animated Batman cartoon ever created. Warner Brothers did a brilliant job on it, had brilliant actors who played the part well. And it also looks like it does in the comic books, which is extremely dark, extremely gloomy. Everything looks really beat up. It looks like there's like no hope for tomorrow, and that there's a lot of depression and sadness. And since Batman is one of those, like, not anti-heroes, but I'm trying to think of the right word for it. I think it's like tragic heroes or something to that extent, to where you're a hero but you use darker ways of handling things because of like the rough life you live in and the rough environment you live in. So Gotham is supposed to have that tone of darkness to it, opposed to being a standard hero like, say, Superman or the Flash. I won't say Wonder Woman because it's pretty dark over there. Like, it's wartime and they kill people in like her stories too. And it looks like Doctor Strange here actually knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. I'm really interested in finding out how he found that out, and how he actually has like SWAT teams and stuff working for him as well. So hopefully further on into the story, we'll actually get information on that. And for those these you guys that like actually hear what's going on right now, and you hear like Doctor Strange talking in the background, it's not a delay on my video. This is actually a remix song where Doctor Strange talks a little bit in the background and the music stops. So it's not delay. So if you hear him talking now after he said what he said, it wasn't like a delay by any means or like me lagging. It's actually just part of this remix song. So no issues there. Just thought I'd put that out there for a disclaimer. Before I start getting blasted in the comment section, like, Retro, you're lagging behind. He talked after he was supposed to talk. Because that's not how it went down. Anywho, I'm handcuffed and foot cuffed, and I just gave that guard the finest of work. His ankle is cracked, he's on the floor crying. It's getting real. So I'm in Arkham Asylum obviously now, and everyone right here is taunting me and messing with me and talking about how they're gonna rape me and destroy me because I'm in jail and I'm rich and don't nobody know I got their hands. So they trying to flex on me like they hard body and they think I'm puss cake, but I'm Batman and they don't know it. So I'm going to give them the finest of work if they step in my face and start throwing hands, which you guys already know. I want somebody to try me because they will get wrecked even while I'm in the cuffs. See the disrespect right there? The dude just butt stroked me with the gun, got me kneeling on my knees to talk to a doctor. Like, just wait till I get the opportunity to hit this dude. He's getting wrecked. I cannot wait.
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman.
So right here, this guy is just talking the most trash about how I'm a rich guy, I've never gotten a fight in my life, I don't know how to survive in jail. He don't understand Batman about that life though, until it's Bruce Wayne. So it's time to start giving these guys the finest of work. His shoulder and wrist is gone. His too. We just take the heads right now. The joint locks are real. It looks like we just OHKO'd that dude with a single hit. He took the handcuff straight to the head, and those things are pure metal. So you can imagine how bad that hurts. And this dude, acting like he all big and bad, just taunting and whatnot, all he did was come and hit me with a big pipe to the back of the leg. Like, how does that make you hard body at all? And he's bragging like he really did something. Like, yeah, I hit a rich dude with a pipe in the back of the leg. This makes me raw. Like, hello, dude.
Alfred, have you got my location?
Are not nobody. Then look at Penguin right here. Flexing thinks he's hard. Like, how do you talk trash to someone like you're better than them when you have a whole group to jump in? Keep in mind, my hands and legs are still cuffed, and this dude's flexing with all his boys like he needs all of them right now while I'm cuffed up. Keep in mind, though, that I am Batman. They don't know I'm Batman.
Drop on the roof of the Ace Chemicals building.
And they're still using this many people for a single rich dude. So how hard body does this make them look? But as of right now, it's time to start giving them this work. So you know what time it is.
On the evening news. Was getting yourself arrested a part of your plan all along?
Not exactly.
And did you see that Muay Thai knee? Like, I knew this game was gonna be brutal because it's a Batman game, but Muay Thai clinches, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu joint locks, like, this game is real.
He knows that Bruce
they have multiple different forms of martial
told me
arts, and for anyone that like keeps up with that type of stuff, it's really refreshing to see, because Batman wasn't just trained like as a ninja, but he was trained to be an assassin, because even though he doesn't necessarily kill people, he was still trained by the League of Assassins, and they're trained to kill people. So he would have all those techniques that have the intentions to kill. And he would have to be a master of them because that's how the League of Assassins fight. And it's really nice that they gave this game that touch. One other thing I noticed as I'm progressing through the game is that they gave it a real upscale new age type style. What I mean by that is a lot of these movements that you see him doing is like that whole parkour type style thing that's really popular these days. And it's really cool that they gave Batman that maneuverability to stay relevant with like the times and the use of today. I think that's really nice, and it actually reminds me of a really good game called Infamous. If any of you guys have played that, the whole action of like being able to climb walls and using small edges to easily get up on things, on like jumps and climbs that still look nearly impossible, like this one they're telling me to do right now with Ace Chemicals. Like, look at that little edge. Like, who jumps from where I jumped and just catches it like that and grinds? Like, it's a really cool touch of doing like really extreme moves that makes it look a lot cooler. And since Batman is supposed to be like the ultimate martial artist slash ninja, it's cool that he actually has the utility of these moves. And I think it's quite refreshing that they made it identifiable with like today's youth, with what's popular with them, which is parkour and doing all these types of crazy jumps and moves. So anyhow, we're pressing on. We are talking to Alfred, and he is sending us our equipment, so our bat suit. So we're pressing our way on to get that. And I'm really excited to get that because, as you know, once I get that suit, I will have a utility to an array of weapons. And y'all saw how it was being Catwoman, so just imagine what you can do being Bruce Wayne. So I'm trying to open this thing here, and like it looks really remedial, but it's just that bat symbol there. It's not like you have to click it in a real peculiar spot, and it's just weird that you have to be directly centered. Like you can't be slightly left, you can't be slightly right. It's a real peculiar position that you hold the A button in, which is actually kind of weird that it was that technical. But whatever, we pushed it, we got our suit, and we look good in it. Something else I like about this game that I've noticed, if you look at the older Batman shows, like again, Batman the Animated Series, or the 1950s or 60s Batman, whenever that was, when he was doing all those dances, like they were in like Austin Powers and The Swim and all that nonsense. But anywho, when they did those type of shows, they had like the whole, you know, leotard looking suit. And I like that they fixed that to where this doesn't look like a leotard suit, but it looks like a militaristic weapon. Like you can look at the body of this suit and tell that it's plated to take shots by bullets. Because when you have that leotard suit that makes it look like you're just a dancer and you get shot and you don't have superpowers, it doesn't look realistic. But since this actually looks like a militaristic suit, it makes sense that he gets shot by a bullet and not die. It's a really nice upgrade that makes it not only look realistic, but again relevant to the times. And I think it's a real nice upgrade that they did to Batman. It looks nice. He looks like he's ready for war, and in this city as corrupt as it is, essentially it is war. So it looks like, just like in previous Batman games, we can glide, and you can glide a lot more efficient than what I can remember from the previous Batman game, and it's not as slow. So that's definitely an improvement that I like. So we're progressing through here to get the Catwoman to get some information. And there are some enemies down here, so it's time for another action scene. So these dudes think because there's a lot of them and they got weapons, they can beat me, but they don't have the hands. Like, look at this. This is all day right here. Ain't nobody trying to catch this. He came behind me and he still caught it to his face. Like, don't nobody want this. Did you see that shot to the neck? Like, that was so disrespectful. That's something else that I think that's enjoyable about this game. He's not just using cutthroat moves that are deadly, but he's putting style into it. Like, he's clearly showing that, hey, I'm a lot better of a fighter than you. Like, you can look at this fight right now and tell that he's kind of showing off as well. Like, a lot of the ways he's choosing to hit them is straight disrespectful. Just ruthless. And you can tell that it's unnecessary because he's a lot better of a fighter than they are. To some extent, it actually looks like he's enjoying this. I know I am. Okay, so we're in the Wayne courthouse, And somewhere in here we should find Two-Face and Catwoman. And speak of the devil, there he is. And of course he got a whole squad with him, no surprise. Now that I'm like really paying close attention, Two-Face looks pretty cool too. I like how he has that whole Resident Evil G virus face look, kind of like he's a zombie or whatnot when it's a foreign part of the face. I think that's pretty realistic. It doesn't look too bad. Catwoman here is actually quite to a T too, to the comics and to the old shows and stuff. Like, she's really whorish and really flirty and really promiscuous, and unfortunately, though that's very degrading to a woman and you probably shouldn't do that in video games, that is her character, unfortunately, in both the show and both the comic books. So again, her character is made exactly the way it is to a T. So I can't say that they did bad because it was, well, the way it's meant to be. So now we're gonna start working our way in here. This man don't even see me. He just sitting there chilling with his gun. Go ahead and give him that nice and sneaky kill. Now it's time to do some Circus Olay and start doing some stupid tightrope walking. And by the way, Circus Olay, I know I used it wrong. I was just being stupid. So for anybody that wants to complain and put that in the comment section, you're wasting your time right now. Anywho, they're about to catch this work, so let's go ahead and do this. I love how fast you move in this game. Like, Batman has no superpowers, but he's so skilled at the martial arts that when you fight these enemies, you don't feel like you have a chance of losing. Like, you feel invincible, and you just like fooling around with him. It's a lot of fun. The haymaker, though, is too clean. Oh, and here go another one. Acting hard body like you did something. Like, you shot me, dude. Like, how does that make you raw? Anybody can pull a gun and shoot somebody. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. All those dudes ain't up in here now. Go ahead and give him that work. He ain't a better fighter than you, so just go ahead and finish this. But he had another gun. Not bad. Like, if I was not here right now, she definitely would have been dead. They did a really, really good job on the bad guys in this game. Like, I can't overstress how well played this is. They're all ruthless, disrespectful. Like, that's perfect. This is exactly how Batman villains are supposed to be. I can't wait till we see the Joker. Like, his part is going to be really enjoyable. And the reason I say that is because I love the Joker. Like, I know he's a sick man, but he's not a real person. Nobody's really dying. And I just find how colorful and crazy he is. Plus, the person that actually voice acts as him is hilarious. Like, when you can hear what he's actually saying, like, it's too funny. Speaking of the devil, this is actually the Joker right here, aiming to try to snipe Catwoman. And the Again, right here, Catwoman's being her slutty self. She's about to get shot. I saved her life. We need to hurry up and get out of here because there's plenty of other squads of goons and villains trying to take us out. And she's talking about how she turned on by the fact we almost dead and I should make out with her right here. Like, come on, let's get out of here. Ain't no time for that right now. So this is actually an interesting feature. It says it's called detective mode. So we press the right button and we kind of just look around the room and we try to find evidence. We look at the evidence and we analyze it. Then once we analyze it, we confirm that to actually find out exactly where the villains are to continue on with the story. So yes, essentially you're doing what they do on CSI. You're looking at ballistic markings, how they're bent up, where they're marked up, the angle that they were fired on, and finding directly where it came from. And that's just showing once again how much of a genius Bruce Wayne is, because not too many people in real life, well, let me be real, like nobody in real life looks at ballistic markings and stuff like that and truly understand it. Like, I mean, there's a few people obviously that work in that field, but it's not just something you could do every day. Like, oh, I saw this bullet come from 15 degrees, pick it up off the ground, look at how it's marked, and then know exactly where it came from. Like, come on, be serious. Not too many of us have that talent. It's a skill. Even when I served in the military, like, it was a special class, a special job title where they taught you that, and they did years of training to master that, like the people that actually learned that. So again, it's not a skill that everyone commonly has. It's something you really have to master. So moving along here, I'm not exactly sure where we're supposed to be going here, so we're kind of just going to look around, try to talk to people to see if we can get information, and pop some villains while we moving. Because again, we saw that this game gives experience points, which means that it has a level up system. And I want more moves, I want more gadgets, I'm trying to pop heads in style. So we definitely want to just keep beating up the villains, even if they're not necessarily doing it just for the power of
the Ace Chemicals building. I'm on my way there now.
Of course.
So these guys here are politicians, which just shows how corrupt Gotham is right now. Politicians that aren't even corrupt are going to jail just because they're finding where things are crooked in the city.
Was getting yourself arrested a part of your plan?
Like, if you can't depend on your SWAT teams, your police, then what are you really going to depend on in your town? What are you really going to depend on in the city? Like, this is too real.
He knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. He also told me that something called Protocol 10.
Oh, and this dude still didn't see me? That's what I'm talking about. Nice and stealth knockouts.
Did it arrive, sir?
There's a lot of dudes there, but it's not like too many things to hide behind, so I'm gonna try to sneak up the best I can, but they're probably gonna see me. But at the same time, aside from getting popped, what are they really gonna do? Nothing but get popped. So it's not that really big of a deal. Look at this. Don't nobody want these hands. This is all day.
One word of advice. Run.
Well, congrats. It's the first time you hit me. But you still taking these hands to your face, so it don't even matter.
Poisoned me.
You know you roar when you fighting somebody, and they have to put it in slow motion like the Matrix, just so you can see how they are connecting when they hit them.
Mr. Freeze is the only cure.
What are you waiting for then? He's in Arkham City. Find him.
Only it was that simple.
The fact that they slowed it down just shows how fast he really is. Oh, what was that?
I don't wish to worry you, but it is the middle.
Oh, okay, so it's a turret gun. Can we take it out with our batarang? Let's give it a try. And I'm trying to figure out what button I use to throw it, because I'm not sure. Okay, it says the right trigger. Okay, so we got better aim. Oh, and it shot it right away. Okay, so that's not gonna work. So are we agile enough to dodge the bullets? Like, are we that quick? Let's test it real quick. Well, then again, we have other utilities, so let's try one of those. Explosive gel. Let's try explosive gel. Let's see if that works. No, the explosive gel is a spray. I thought it was like maybe like a sticky plastic or something I could toss, but it's not. So let's just try. No, that's not gonna work either. We're not gonna be agile enough as I wanted to try to do to get across. So we're just gonna not go that way because I don't know how to get around that just yet. So let's keep moving on. See exactly where we need to go from here. And there are some more what looks like politicians, so let's go ahead and talk to them and let's see if we can find exactly where we need to go. Okay, so these guys, they really don't know what I need to be doing right now. It sounds like they don't really know what's going on because they're just focusing on hiding and surviving. So they're obviously not any help. So after this dialogue of how terrified they are, we'll try to find our way ourselves. So moving on. Well, there's more enemies here, so I think we're going the right way. And that's cool, even if we're not going the right way, it's still cool to beat them down. I mean, not only is it a lot of fun, but you get the experience points and the level up, which is what we want. And a gun, nobody wants this work. That boot to the face, though. And those look like steel-toed boots, too. Like, his face is gone forever. There is no plastic surgeon that is fixing that. So I accidentally pushed the button that shoots you up there with the grappling hook. But that's interesting that now I know you can actually go from building to building like that. Anyhow, let's see what this guy has to say. After we check our level up on it. So let's see, they got detective mode, movement, sliding, which we should probably take the time to learn eventually. But I want something that deals more with physical attacks, so to say. So these are our gadgets. Standard battering, if you level up enough, you can throw 3 at once and you go faster. Not bad. Like, I want to improve on that. Control battering. Let's see what that does. Special battering controlled on release. Good for hitting the switches. And you can throw that high velocity at your opponents to do more damaging hits. If you throw it at an electric object, it gets an electrical charge for an additional damage. Okay, that's pretty cool. But it doesn't look like I can upgrade those right now, so I guess we'll just go ahead and look for something we can upgrade physically, possibly. Okay, Predator are like those stealth style takedowns, but from different angles. That's cool, but I'm not looking for that right now. Let's go with Critical Strike. Being able to hit harder sounds good to me. It's an additional boost in power, and I'm still getting used to the game, so I'm not quite good. I'm not good at all like the combos and stuff right now. Just maneuverability and, well, basic combos, nothing too spectacular just yet. So we need some time to learn all that. Alright, so let's try going up on this building and start working our way around and see if we can find where we need to go. Because I still don't know where we need to go. Well, okay, there's enemies here, so maybe we're going the right way right now. Hopefully we're going the right way right now, because we're almost at the 30-minute point, which means we really need to get somewhere where we can stay. If this takes too long, then I don't mind it, unfortunately. I'm going to have to stop here, find out where we need to go for the next episode, and then kind of review, well, this portion. And it looks like it's giving me, well, it's kind of hinting at the timing of the critical strike. And I gotta learn how to do it because I'm doing it every now and then, but I still don't really understand how I'm doing it. So I'm going to try to practice it as much as I can. Oh Lord, what is that hitting me? That took way too much damage. It almost killed me. Let's get on the rooftop. Alright, now let's try to practice our critical strikes. Okay, I'm taking hits and my health is too low. Forget it. We're just going to give these guys the work and keep it moving. We'll try practicing critical strikes again once we get our health up, because right now our health is too low from getting shot at like that. So we'll worry about all of that later. Try to sneak up on me? Like you wasn't going to catch this work, boy? Hello? Okay, let's try going up here. Okay, there's more enemies here, so maybe we're still going the right way. I hope we're going the right way. Let's try... Oh, okay. So somebody want that work before I hop off? Some people want that work? Not a problem at all. That palm strike though. Okay, so let's glide on down. And it looks like they're... What are those? This looks like little Riddler question marks. Like, I'm not sure what those do though, so I wanted to try to check it out. But before I actually stopped, these were the people I saw when I was gliding, and this was the direction I was originally headed before I saw the question mark. So let's continue this way because I think this may be the right way since there's, well, enemies here. And again, we are just dominating them because don't nobody have hands in this game.
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman. And now that we have you...
Oh, somebody else wanted. Okay.
It's ready to begin.
Don't get back up, sir. For your own safety.
A monument to your failure. If you try to stop me, I guarantee everyone will know your secret.
Okay, so there's people in here.
Mr. Wayne will not be any
So maybe this is the right way.
Wayne.
And they're not letting me in. So maybe I have to find a way to get in there somehow.
Stay on. We don't want to make things too easy.
Alright, so these question mark things, I'm not sure what they're supposed to do exactly. Like I'm standing on it, no indication or icon is telling me what to do. So maybe there's something for a little bit later in the game, possibly. Yeah, they're not making any type of interaction with me that I can tell. And this isn't good because at this point we are quite a bit ways over time, and I don't know where we're supposed to go. So I might just have to stop it here, find out where to go, and then next episode we'll kind of have to redo this portion because, well, I don't know where to go and we're almost out. Well, we are out of time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the episode here.
I need an immediate drop on the
next
roof of the Ace
episode,
Chemicals building.
we'll take the
I'm on my
time
way there now.
Of course.
well, go on the right path because I'll have the information of where we need to go. And then we'll try to progress on through the story. Also, before I leave you guys today, I would like to give you a question of the day. The question of the day is, what is your favorite action-adventure game, and why? Also, what is your favorite platform? By platform, I mean PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, or Wii U to play your action-adventure game on. But anyhow, I have been RonnRetrobro, and I am signing out. So, Rotom's going to eat this up pretty good, being a water type. But let's see how much damage it does. Ooh, and that's actually pretty nice.